to the programming assignment for the subject Introduction to Data Science with R. Today's topic is demonstrate use of basic data types that are present in R language. We will be studying this assignment through RStudio. So let's begin with the RStudio. I have already created the programming assignments for all of you and going to demonstrate you step by step. Welcome to the RStudio environment. As you can see, this is the workspace. This is your programming coding window. This is your console window actually. This is the R script that is written by me. If you want to check and demonstrate a particular command, you can use the console that is available to you. If you want to clear the console, at the right hand side, there is a broom symbol that you can click, so your console will get clear. The alternative shortcut key for it is Ctrl plus L. Similarly, if you want to use your command prompt, then the terminal is made available to you. Now let's begin with our programming assignment on demonstrating the data types in R. So as we know, the different programming languages such as C, C++, Python, Java and many more, each of them use a particular type to represent the type of information that will be utilized while programming. Similarly, R is also a language, and in this language, what are the different data types that are available to us? We are going to demonstrate it with the help of program. So as we know, there are vectors, there is list, there are factors, there is data frame, and we will be demonstrating this step by step. So let's begin with the first. As you can see, I have written in green. This is a comment. How can you give a comment? Simply put a hashtag symbol in front of a statement, then that particular line will become a comment. If you want a multiple comment, then this RStudio allows you simple way. So if you can observe, I am just selecting these three elements, then going to this tool over here, that is the code tool, selecting comment, uncomment, flow lines. So as they are already comment, if I select it, then these becomes uncomment. So immediately the color has changed. Again I go it and I click on comment. If you have observed, the shortcut key for it is Ctrl plus Shift and C together. Okay. So your first data type is a vector. So now let's create a simple vector that store any 5 prime numbers. So if we do that, we can create, now this prime is a variable name for a vector which has 5 vector elements, that is 2, 3, 5, 7 and 11. We will be doing it with the help of a C function, and the function print will allow you to print the value that is present in the vector. Now, as this is an R script, from where I can write a R script? It's simple. File, new, R script. Once you click, you can just write a program. If you click on the run, then whatever I have written in this R script entirely, that would be executed. Now this RStudio gives me a feature. If I want to just execute these 2 lines, then I can select these 2 lines and I can click on the run button. Then this will, in the console, if you see at the bottom, the statement that is written and that is executed. So my vector value contains 2, 3, 5, 7 and 11. So now if I want to create another vector, suppose even, then I would be writing even, then this assignment operator, then C in function. Now suppose I want to store 5 even values, so I have 10, 22, 36, 48, 50. That's it. Now I want to print this, so print in bracket even bracket complete. Now I want to check whether everything is right. So I select it and I click on run. So if you observe in the console window, I get my values. Okay, now again I want to clear my console, so I clear it. I just copy this and paste it console. Is it possible? It is not showing it. Let's see Control V. It is done. I press enter. You get your execution done. So in console, you can check your command one by one. Whether as in your R script, you have already written a program, just you are writing in your C language and C++ language. So this is a simple way through which you can create a vector. Now what is the vector speciality? That we will see in another assignment which is specially dedicated to vector. Basically, you can now understand that a vector will store elements, but the vector has a capability of storing elements that are of different types, such as characters, numbers, floating values together, but all of them would be treated as a string. So as on now, for you, you can write down a vector that stores 10 values, out of which 5 are even and 5 are odd. Now if you observe on the right hand side, your two variables are there whose 5 values are stored over here. This is your environment, which is storing the memory till your RStudio is working. Now the next data type that is available is list. Now the list data type can be created using the list function. Now all of you know what is a list. List of atoms or things that you have to bought from market, you say 1, 2, 3. So what can be the list? So a vector itself can be an element in a list. So to demonstrate that, I have written create a list that has 3 elements, out of which first element is a single value, which may be any constant value. The second element in the list would be a vector that has the names of student. The third element would be a logical value, which is again a data type in R, that is true or false. So I have created a variable or an object that is the name mylist, my assignment operator, then the list function, the first element separated by comma, the second element the entire vector, for which I would be using the C function, the third element that is a logical value, that is the true. So the list function contains number of elements that are separated by the commas. Again, I would be printing the values that are present in my list with the help of my list variable. So again I select these 2 lines to see the output. Before that, I clear my console window, then I click on run. If you observe, the double bracket indicates the first element, the second element and the third element. As it is a single value, so you are getting 101. As it is a vector, the first element value is first, second element value is second, and the third element value is third. And in the third list, the value is true. So again, we will be also having a programming assignment that would discuss you the different details about this list and the different operations or the things that you can perform using list. Moving on, next we have the next data type, that is a matrix. If you remember, in C and C++ language, you were using the 2-dimensional array or multi-dimensional array for storing the matrix value. Over here, what I am going to do is, in our language, you directly have the matrix function that allows you to store the matrix. The parameters of this function are, first, the number of elements that your matrix is going to store. Second, the number of rows that is given by n row. third parameter, the number of columns that is given by ncol, and the values that you would be inserting in the matrix, that would be inserted row wise. For example, first row first column, first row second column, first row third column in the current situation. Then next second row first column, second row second column, second row third column, and so on. So if you observe, as I have 3 rows and 3 columns, so the total number of elements in my matrix are 9, and I have to give it with the help of a vector. So that's why 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. So these are my 9 elements which I am storing in my variable my matrix. Now you will be having a question, why an equal to sign? So there is no difference if you write an equal to sign or an assignment operator. Both of them are applicable in our language. So let's select this and try to execute it. Before that, again let me clear my console window. So I am executing it by clicking it on run. Okay, so if you observe, first row, second row, third row, first column, second column, third column, the elements are there. Now let's check an experiment. I clear the console again. Instead of this equal to, I use my assignment operator that is available to me. Now again I select this and try to run. So again I am going to get the same thing. So that's why I am saying the equal to sign, that is your equal to symbol, or this operator, that is less than and hyphen sign, together are used for assignment in our language. So coming on to the next data type, that is an array. Let's clear my console. Let's see the execution first, then I will try to illustrate what an array is doing over here. So if you observe, the array is putting the two values in a 3 row 3 dimension. So this array function is used to create an array that will be stored in an object my array, and I am displaying the details of my array. So there are two entities, A and B. These two entities are distributed in 3 rows and 3 columns, and the number of entities are 2. This is being declared at the second parameter, and that's why the possible combination, that is the first possible combination, is A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B, A, that is being distributed row wise. And in second part, if you see, then as A has ended over here, B, A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B, that is gone column wise. Now what I will do, to just illustrate you again, I will clear this. I would put another element, that is C, and I would change the value over here to 3. Let's see what is the output of this execution that is being done. I click on run. So if you observe, A, B, 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 C, C, C. So the first row all A, second row all B, third row all C, because it is 3 by 3. Now if I change it to 4, let's see what happens. See, now if I given 4 rows, A, B, C, again A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C. If you observe over here, A, B, C, A, B, C, and that is going on in similar way. So the array concept that you are using in your traditional programming languages and over here, that is quite a bit different, and you will have to study it carefully. The next data type is factors. So again I clear the console. Now factors are useful when you have a data that is belonging to categories, or you have a data with repetitive elements. So for example, if you observe my vector over here, my data, it has A, B and D, these 3 elements. So what I am doing, I am factorizing my vector, and I am trying to display it. So let's show you the output of this. When I execute it, if you observe, it is showing me that my data contains three elements that are distinct, that is A, B and D. Now what I do, I change and I add one more level, that is a small c, and I repeat it again. So what my vector now has, my vector now has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 elements overall. But if I run this again, let it be as it is, I select it and I run it again. If I run it again, so if you observe now, the levels are now A, B, C and D. So as my vector has 4 distinct elements, this factor function or the factor data type is useful while I am analyzing the data which can be categorized or in data analysis. The next important part, that is a data frame. You can suppose it's similar to the structure that is available in C language. If you observe, I have created the 3 vectors. Roll numbers, I have taken 4 roll numbers. Name, I have taken name of 4 students. Percentage, I have taken again a vector that stores the percentage of 4 students. Now this is the important statement where the data frame is created. So my variable is student data. Data dot frame in bracket the vectors that my data frame will contain. That is, the first is your roll numbers, second is your name, and third is your percent. And I am trying to print this student data. So my student data has a data frame that contains 3 vectors, that is roll number, name and percent. When I execute this entirely, let's see. If you see, I am getting a data set type of the list or represented data frame, that is roll number 1 is ABC, his percentage is 81.5. If you want to include more than 3 vectors or n vectors, you can easily do it. Now if you see, the data different values are there in environment, that is going on over here. So basically in this programming assignment, we have studied or we have seen the different simple data types that are additionally available in the R language, which would be useful for us to carrying out the data analysis or managing the data or putting up the data in a simple way. So to quick recap, the first one, data type which we saw, that was our simple vector, which was followed by list, which was followed by matrices, which was followed by array. Then for categorical data we had factors. Then for next, that is the last part, we created a data frame. To summarize or to conclude this programming assignment 1, I would tell you that you might get a questions based on which you will have to implement your data and you will have to choose the particular data type to show your output. So that concludes my programming assignment 1. I hope you have understood it. If any queries, you can post. Thank you.